Yesterday in particular, which was a fine day and we had lots of volunteers, we rolled out fibre pretty much from Bila here all the way, and we managed to get it across the river, and at the moment we're digging it up towards the hotel. There's about 197 properties in the Glen. The population is probably about 250, probably stretches a wee bit more in the summer when people come up, but it's a mixture of people that have lived here for generations.
When my partner and I moved here in late 2006, it took 8 months for BT to give us even the most basic phone line.
About 5 years ago, when the superfast broadband from the Scottish Government first started to be on the go, then I suppose everyone in Scotland was sitting, looking and saying, is this coming to me? And it took about 2 years before actually the Scottish Government and BT finally told us that they weren't coming to Balquhidder. It started then with people did a first survey of what everyone had in the Glen, what businesses, what their need was, what did they have at the moment. And at that stage then Community Broadband Scotland said that they would fund a project for us, but we wanted to indicate in our invitation to tender that the community was willing to participate in this, and we were looking for someone to come and give us a future-proof broadband service, and at that stage we had to create our company to deal with that. So we set up Balquhidder Community Broadband, which is a community interest company. We believe that the project is going to cost about 430,000. We're funding that with a contribution from our ISP Bogons of about 100,000. And the de minimis payment of about 175,000 from Stirling Council. And we have some funding jointly funded from Leader for a project officer from both Stirling Council and from Leader, all in there. That leaves us with, at the moment, we believe a shortfall of about 130,000, which we're hoping that we'll be able to fund through the business voucher scheme that Westminster are now operating. And we've got between 45 and 50 businesses in the Glen which we think will qualify for the scheme. And once we put that application in at £3,000 a business, then we think we can fund the project completely that way and cover all our costs and deliver a world-class service to the community that's totally funded. When we worked out our budget and knew what we were going to charge, £35 a month for this, which is, again, if you look at a gigabit, if you were in London or whatever else it is, that's probably about half the price that a commercial contractor would ask for it. For each connection, we're asking for a contribution of £135, and then they can decide after that whether they want to take the service on a monthly basis or not.
It's a volunteer-based project, but what they're looking for is someone who's sort of continually involved in the project, and then volunteers can come and go, and they need someone who kind of knows where everything is. And so to help the volunteers, and also my job as a project officer is to sort of round up and make sure we have enough volunteers to sort of do all the different projects that we're faced with.
The volunteers are essential for this. We couldn't have done that. It comes back to looking at a commercial dig and a commercial delivery would be well over 800,000, but there's a whole chunk of that is labour costs.
Me and my brother and our family own this hotel. We've been here now for 30 years. We have a machine, a digger on the farm as part of the hotel as well. We've used it for a lot of the digging in the village, getting the fibre and the ducting to the different areas all through the Glen.
The weather can be pretty extreme for sort of 6, 7, 8 months of the year. The terrain is actually quite complicated to work in, because although the ground, as you can see here, is quite flat, most of the ground is quite undulating, it's quite stony, quite hard to dig, So we've got to kind of watch what we do in terms of how much we lay on the surface and how much we dig into the actual ground.
We have a street cabinet which we built. The back hall from there is to the old nuclear bunker, and our ISP Bogons purchased the bunker to turn into a data centre. So from there then we reach out from there into the net as it goes. So we've got a 1 gigabit connection with backhaul to the bunker, and from the bunker we have 200 gigabit connections out into the wide world.
When we started building the data centre here, some of the locals found out we had lots of internet connectivity here, and the service from other ISPs like BT was very poor, and they asked us if we could provide anything. We just decided to build it between ourselves, with the Balquhidder people doing the digging, putting the ducting in, and us installing the fibre and the network above it and connect it to the bunker here.
It's going to make some massive changes for us. We have about 28 staff living on site, and also a big thing is for our customers as well. When they come, to keep in touch with their home while they're away, which some people like doing, it always means that they have access to do all that.
Population of this glen in 1780 was about 2,500 people. It's just over 200 now. I'd like to reverse that process, at least to a certain extent. In our case, personally, this is a beautiful and inspiring area to live. I run an artificial intelligence and augmented reality company in Los Angeles. I'm very much now looking forward to being able to move its research and development operations here.